Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
There.
Eat that 6-pound dog if I got to keep his cock after.
What?
What did you
just say? Wait, what did you just say?
All right, so if there was a genie, there's a magician.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. It's Feidelberg and Clancy. We are here to fuck around. We got our new special microphones that allegedly allow us to bang the table.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck your world up.
So I hope that's true because now I'm really gonna fucking bang the tables. I am back in studio. We got our Thursday episode coming up. That means we got Am I the Asshole? Of course, video voicemails. We got a couple interviews, including one with Kevin Hart and Nelly, which I was excited about Kevin Hart's always been an amazing guest for us, a super mega star name, and he's always been gracious enough to come on. So he's always a highlight. And then as like a 90s and 2000s rap fan, Nelly, get these guys together. I was already excited for the interview for that reason. And boy, do I have an entirely different reason to be excited about it now.
Yeah, because the interview itself was kind of a dud.
Straight up, not to throw shade on anybody, but actually, it's not even. No, it's justifiably a dud because we interviewed Nelly and Kevin Hart, and it was via Zoom, and they were doing a press junket, and it's kind of like it was awkward. We were stepping on each other. They were telling inside jokes. They weren't really.
They
engaged.
were talking to each other. We couldn't even hear.
Couldn't hear them. So I was like, why do they even? Why even bother doing that? We find out as we were doing the interview, like right in the middle of the interview, Nelly had a sex tape begin to go viral that somehow got posted to his Instagram. So on his Instagram story is just a close-up of some girl sucking a huge dick. And I'm so mad that that interview wasn't just like 30 minutes later because there is no podcast better on the planet Earth to have that conversation. If Nelly and Kevin Hart would be open about it, we could have a real discussion about a sex tape going viral on your Instagram. They wouldn't be, but if they could and if they would, we would be the fucking guys to do that. But unfortunately, we didn't hear about it till afterwards. But that made for an even better moment when we were like, oh, wait a minute, that's why Nelly was looking at his phone. That's why they were distracted. So we go back and look at the tape, and Nelly's reaction to learning that he has straight up his dick or somebody's dick getting absolutely fucking sucked. Just right on his Instagram story.
Have you seen video or anything? I just saw one picture blacked out.
You haven't seen it?
No.
I mean, it's got Nelly up in the top corner, and it's the big
Was
dick.
that actually on his Instagram story?
I mean, unless someone like that.
While we were on?
I have a theory, I might have my tinfoil hat on. They're promoting this new show, Real Husbands of Hollywood. They've got it on some salacious shit. I mean, if you're down with it and you're already like
is a
superstar,
is his wife on this show?
So does this woman look like his wife? That's what I don't know. If it's not, if it's not his wife, it's probably a problem. But I mean, this girl's just absolutely sucking this dick, and it's just got Nelly up in the corner, and that's his fucking Instagram story, and it's just some deep throat dick sucking going on, and Nelly, in the middle of our interview, looks down at his phone and just goes, "Oh God!"
He's like
I think he was younger than that. I think he was like 14 when he started winning that game.
Man, listen, man. Oh God.
I love that you were just gonna try to lie about the Olympics like that, dude. With that Nelly voice, like, "Oh God!" I want that to be like a drop, like a sample in his next song. Like the chorus, the song should be called "Oh God," and then the chorus is just Nelly going, "Oh God." I mean, he would, and then after that, Kevin laughs, he shows it, he looks at it, he shrugs, and he's like, yeah, okay. That the level of money and freedom and confidence that Nelly must have to just look at that and go, oh, okay, I guess that's happening.
See, because I found him to be rather combative in the interview. And I thought that was because you kind of challenged him on rap to start. Which
is ridiculous, by the way. Trying to tell me that rappers aren't like known to be cocky and arrogant and boastful. It's like, yeah.
It is like, it's one, that's also kind of like, just the way the world is. Like, well, it's just something. Well, that's the kind you consume. Like, yeah, but it's the kind that's. And then I guess this is the point Nelly was making, where it's like, yeah, it's the kind that's played on the radio. But
that's
I
again,
understand there's
that's
sad
not-
rap. I understand
Yeah,
there's like,
but if you were to talk about generally speaking,
yeah,
rap is not like introspective, self-deprecating guys. Get the fuck out of here.
it is about grandiose, living.
Right.
Grandiose. How do you spell that? I mean, how do you say that?
Grandiose.
Grandiose. Okay, that's right. That doesn't make stuff look dumb.
But yeah, he definitely was like pushing back on that.
But then we ask him like about like do you still are you rooting for the Rams? Are you Rams fan? And he was like, he's like, I'm not letting two white boys take my bag. I was like, what does that mean?
Well, but then that all makes sense
'Cause
when if
he's
it's
a
like,
little on edge about-
if you're on edge thinking about like, well, wait a minute, I have my dick on my Instagram
Yeah, bro. I don't think.
right
Hey,
now.
Nelly, I don't think I was stealing your bag, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think anything you said in that interview, like I like the Rams, could have fucked up your day any
more than the dick on your Instagram, dude. Yeah, I mean, it made a lot more sense that some of it was a little like disconnected. and
Even Kevin was
disjointed.
like, "What are you talking about?"
Right, he was like, just
Kevin,
answer the
Kevin
question.
Hart was like, "Just answer the,
answer the
do you
fucking
like the team or
question,
not?"
But yeah, I guess if half of your brain is thinking like, did I post that? Did my wife post that? Was I hacked? Is that revenge porn? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I'm asking you questions about fucking verses or whatever. But that the actual like he was as much as that might have affected the interview, the actual initial reaction of just like shrugging and being like, I said it was like he forgot to put the garbage out this morning. It was recycling
Like,
today. God.
I like to say like I wouldn't care about nudes being leaked, and like it's something that's been like threatened to I think all of us before. And
But I don't care who you are. You definitely have a moment of like,
Well, you're like I'd
You're embarrassed.
I'd stop an interview.
Sure.
An interview I clearly wasn't having fun in.
right. And be like, I
I'd
got
stop
a crisis
that.
to handle right now. Sorry, guys. We got to go deal with an emergency.
Right.
What is it, Nelly? My dick's on fucking Instagram. But, oh, God. I mean, I want that to be like in the meme hall of fame of just like, anytime you check your phone and something's wrong, oh, God. It was an amazing moment. So you can, the interview, like we said, not that great, but when you imagine, so now like you're going to do a little like role playing, cosplaying, if you will, while you listen to the interview later in the show, imagine that's what's going on the whole time, and it probably becomes wildly entertaining.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Olympics, we're making fun of BET, we're talking about verses and comedy.
That was funny when
And
he-
the whole time,
He
it's all
tried
about,
to get us asking us if we have BET.
Yeah.
And I lied. And I said yes like a liar.
So that, along with our Kelly Stafford interview coming up later,
One of the greatest interviews we've had.
who was Matthew Stafford.
I called him Matt a few times
Yeah.
because I thought Matthew was just
for her
thing.
Yeah, no, apparently it's a big thing.
Because
Not
as soon
Matthew.
as the interview got over, I went to her Instagram and like the first
Post was
it's
Matthew, not Matt. Yep.
Yeah, I slipped in a few Matts because I was like I was going back and forth. 'Cause I didn't know what to call him.
Right.
'Cause she was saying Matthew. I thought maybe that's
Very
like
clearly
their
a
cute
Matthew
pet
thing.
name kind of deal.
Bro, if I was Matthew, I'd for sure go by Matt.
I don't
Matthew's
know.
a mouthful, Matt.
Matt's kind of a scumbag.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's not.
your understanding of all names is based on like who you grew up.
Well, you know
knowing.
one guy who's named Matt.
That's
is
what
a
I'm saying.
scumbag?
That's how, like-
Matt's not a scumbag name.
Matt kind of is a scumbag.
Matthew is like a.
for sure.
I'm Matthew Stafford III. If he wasn't like a fucking
Everyone named Matt got
gritty ass
suspended at
football
least
player
once, that's
from.
for sure.
No way.
yeah. Oh,
Matt
yeah.
is like a lacrosse player.
I picture Matt wearing like in middle school wearing like sweatshirts and cargo pants and smoking cigarettes. And like Matt hung outside Hot Topic and harassed women. That's what fucking Matts do, bro.
How about Matt's with one T?
Matt's with one
Those
T.
are like Greek scumbags or something, you know.
Matt's with one T. Their last names are Sedin and they're great hockey players.
So we'll get into an interview with Kelly Stafford, who has completely swayed me. I am pulling hardcore for the Rams now.
Yep, 100%.
She
This is a Rams fan. This is Rams household.
this is Rams country
Yeah,
here
this
on KFC
is the
Radio.
Rams fan.
So we'll get into that. We'll also get into Am I the Asshole and of course voicemails. But I got to start with this pastor Brian, dude. This guy sucks so fucking bad. This pastor who went viral for talking about how women are trying to seduce and how his Christian brothers need to fight the temptation. So this was the Twitter thread that went viral a couple days ago. A brief thread of, I don't even know what exhortation is.
Sing and exhortate, loudly exclaim. Was how I'm gonna say.
Cool.
That.
A brief thread of loudly
can we get an
exclaiming
actual
to my
definition?
Christian brothers in light of the absolute tsunami of sexual temptation they face every day. Brothers, you have no choice but to live in a world.
That's kind of good. I kind of nailed that.
Absolutely. Emphatically urging people. Brothers, you have no choice but to live in a world where some of your professed Christian sisters parade their bottoms and breasts in front of you. If you are a grown man that says bottoms about other adults, you're a fucking creep. You're a fucking creep. So he goes on, I know this is the world we have no choice to live in. No choice but to live in, because every time I give common sense exhortation to Christian sisters concerning modesty, things that would have been uncontroversially obvious to most Christians living prior to the 20th century, their response is absurd. Ladies send pornographic videos and images to me in my direct messages. They quote tweet my tweets with wildly inappropriate pictures of themselves. They curse and rage and say all sorts of utterly disgusting things.
Bro, I am just going to copy and paste this thread and post it.
Some of these women...
That's what fucking happens.
Some of these women are even professed Christians. They will dress in clothing so tight as to be akin to a skim coat of latex painted over their most private areas. They'll leave little to the imagination. Some of them have no idea what they are doing. Others know full well. Either way, you and I will have to deal with it. How? First, by grace and through faith, you need to determine that you are not okay with a wandering eye. You are not okay with pornography of any kind ever. You simply will not tolerate it, whatever provocation is given you. Be as radical as you must to kill the lizard. Second, delight yourself in your wife. In Proverbs 5, one of the answers to the temptation of illicit sex is good sex. So be intoxicated with your wife.
Offense, good defense. Yeah.
Quote, drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Third, don't give in to the bitter and despairing cynicism that ultimately makes it easy to throw off responsibility for yourself and cast it off to the sins of the world. Yes, the world is full of women who have forgotten their face of their fathers. Yes, it is unprecedented. Yes, you live in a time when you cannot take your guard down even for a moment. Yes, it's not fair, kind, loving, or reasonable. Yes, the cowardly church has made it far worse by refusing to rebuke the sins of the common women. Yes to it all. And yet, you go and be a glory. You go out armed with the Spirit of God, a band of brothers, and the Scriptures, and refuse to be manipulated by any of it. Be a glory.
I feel like I'm getting a pep talk from
Be a man.
Tell him, Brian.
Be a man with high walls and self-control, a man who can't be dragged into the tar pits by any passing whore, no matter how loud the call. Be what they are so often not being, and love your enemies. Love them enough to honor them, even when they cannot even be bothered to honor themselves. And when you fall, remember your Father's mercy, how slow to anger, how he looks on Christ and pardons us. And if you sin, repent quickly and freely, and Christ rememberingly. Your Father is for you. He sent you an advocate and a helper, and he will see you through. Be strong and courageous. You are the glory of God. You know what? I don't know.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. Tell him. We ready.
I'm never gonna fuck again.
Dude.
This guy, I started out, I never actually read the full thread. In the beginning, I was like, fuck this guy. By the end of it, I'm like, put your dick away.
Why is that-
Go out there and be a glory. Be a man with high walls. Don't fall temptation to the tar pits of whores.
There it is,
Put that
baby.
dick away. Tuck
It's gone.
it in.
It's fucking
Chop
gone.
that shit off. Let's go Varys on these motherfuckers.
Tucked up.
This guy, never have I ever thought that fucking is as lame as I do right now after reading this guy's thread. No, fuck fucking. Fuck fucking.
I thought going into it, I also hadn't read the full thread, but I thought, from what I've seen, he's making some points. And now that I've heard the whole thing, Pastor Brian knows what he's talking about. There's bottoms everywhere.
Bottoms out.
Dude, bottoms all
We
over
talked
the
about it
place.
with Donnell. Too much ass out there.
I can't look anywhere
much
without seeing a
ass.
bottom. I can't look anywhere without seeing a breast. It is
Breast.
It is
Bro, it's a tsunami.
frustrating.
Dude,
And
it's a tsunami of sexual temptation. That's a
actually-
fact.
He put it so perfectly eloquently. I have to find it real quick. Was his name Pastor Brian?
Brian Suave.
Okay. He had
Pretty funny that his name's Suave. I
Um,
mean, when he said it's absurd, it's absurd. It's absurd. There's just too much pussy out there. I'll say it. There's too much pussy. There's no way the world is saturated with pussy. The average guy who used to just settle down or just deal like whatever he could get, marry, settle down, date, whatever. Now you're on your Tinder, you're on your swipes, you're on your this, you're on there, you're that. Even the ugliest fucking guy in the world. This dude, Brian Suave, is a preacher who has said he's inundated with DMs of nudes.
Dude, he's like,
how can anybody?
Women won't stop talking dirty to Pastor Brian, which again, why I'm just copy and pasting.
All
this
he
thing.
wants
I'm
to
just
do.
I'm gonna copy, paste, and pound off to all my quote replies.
Brian Suave, his Twitter bio is Christian pastor, husband, father of 5, and classical school founder, and he's just drowning in internet pussy. he can't stop it. He's fighting him off with a stick. And
Be as radical as you must to kill the lizard.
The lizard.
That's fucking real talk. That's fucking real talk right there. I simply will not talk. Every time I go out, every time a man goes outside, what's out there?
pussy,
Boobs.
tits, nipples.
Boobs
Free the nipple, hide
everywhere.
the nipple. Put the nipple
Everywhere.
away. Put the pussy away.
Put the boob away is a great put the nipple away with the new Adidas ad campaign.
Tits everywhere.
Just a bunch of
floppy, slappy tits.
Middle-aged men shirtless is what it looks
hanging
like.
Tits.
Put
them away.
It's a problem.
You know what? Let's get some full coverage underwear back. Too many thongs, too many cheeks out there. It's impossible to you walk outside and it is as Pastor Brian says, it is a tsunami of sexual temptation that the average guy can't handle. There's no way any guy out there with a pair of balls and a dick can go throughout his life in a regular way.
We've said it time and time again. We're off sex, and guess what? We're with Pastor Brian. We're killing the lizard.
Kill the lizard.
I'm gonna kill the fucking lizard.
Kill the fucking lizard.
Every time you go outside,
As a matter of
I'm a hot chick. I want to fuck. Get out of here. We're not doing it.
I'll tell you this much, John. I want to test myself as a Christian brother walking in Christ. I want all of you to send me nudes so that I can fight back and resist the temptation and prove to myself and Christ up above that I'll go be a glory and that I'm gonna kill the lizard.
Dude,
I actually do really hope. I want to retweet this thread. And I want to tag Asa and Abella and No Face Girl and Phoenix Marie and all the people that we know. And I just want them to flood him with pussy. You want to see a tsunami of sexual temptation? I'm going to show you, Pastor Brian. I want this to go through the whole OnlyFans community. I want this to go through the whole porn community. And I want that thread to become a mockery. I just want people blasting off, pounding off.
I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is, Pastor Brian. Every time Christy Mack has supposed to Mac Monday, guess who's got to fucking go and find the bathroom? I'm like the anti-Superman.
It's simply.
I see, bro. No Face Girl promotes an NFT. I'm like,
here we go. She's trying to talk about crypto. I got to go jerk off again.
No Face Girl, you gotta relax with the retweets. By the way, some of us look at Twitter in public sometimes. It's crazy.
Some of us have things to do. It's flat out inconvenient, is what it is. I got to do my job. I got to take care of my kids. I got to do chores. I got to run errands. I can't be looking at the endless tsunami of tits and ass in my life.
It's
simply a time suck. I got to go in the bathroom again and jerk off, and then I got to clean it all up again. I got to run around with a boner. I got to put it in my waistband. It's ridiculous.
I'm just as it really is. It happens just as fast as Clark Kent to Superman, where I go from fucking the
0 to 100, man.
I go the Hulk to Bruce Banner.
You're real quick. You wouldn't like me when I'm horny.
But the fucking this one right here is real talk. This one is, yes, you live in a time when you cannot let your guard down for even a moment.
Sure.
Keep your fucking eyes up, blinders on,
bro.
no fucking puss.
Head on a
no
swivel.
Fucking yes, it is not fair, kind, loving, or reasonable. You're right. It is the hardest time possible it's ever been to be a man. That's a true statement.
No, that's a fact. That's a dead ass fact.
We don't get to do whatever we want, and people are trying to make us horny all the time.
And you know what it is? We live in an
I
era.
understand that you're living the hardest time it's ever been to be a man in human history. Everyone get that.
I think
We're
you're
fucking
joking.
Warrior.
I
I'm
think
not
you're joking, but I'm not.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking.
It's
so fucking hard right now.
It's just because of how easy it's been. But
Dude,
like
no.
historically speaking, it's been
so hard.
impossibly easy.
It's so hard.
The bar was really low.
I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done with talking about the past. I'm talking about the now, the here, the now.
Yeah.
It is so fucking hard to be a guy with a dick, and that's I've said it before on this show. But there's examples of people who have transitioned from female to male, and then they take the testosterone treatments and they become a man, and they go, "Holy shit, I'm sorry. I never understood how fucking hard it is to handle this because the shit that's going on inside here, it's impossible to control." And now we have to still be macho and manly and make the money and be the breadwinner and be the dad and be the husband and control the house and do all that shit. But we also have to be super sensitive and be an ally and be progressive and help and be a feminist and all that shit. And those two things don't exactly jive. And then all while that's happening, women now know their worth more than ever. They are wielding the power of the pussy like a goddamn Excalibur. They know exactly what they're doing with the internet. They know exactly what they're doing with their texting, with their Instagrams, with their they are temptresses and sirens, and it's a hard journey out here for a man who's just trying to stay on the straight and narrow.
I love when we go off on a tangent where Kevin just had some stuff he needed to get off his chest.
Hypothetically speaking, just trying to keep, in a world where we used to just be able to joke about what we want to joke about and post all sorts of pictures and do all sorts of asses and smoke shows and guessing this and posting that, and now it's like you can't joke about this and you can't do that and you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. You at least got to meet us halfway. If like Me Too movement and the independent women movement and equality and all that's gonna happen, well then you got to stop with the tsunami of sexual temptation because those two things don't jive.
I'm just done with it. I mean, Pastor Brian, we're done with it. We've explicitly stated it, and
we got to go be a glory.
I will be a glory.
Be a glory and kill a lizard.
I'm gonna kill a lizard.
Kill the lizard.
And by the way, my lizard is the size of Godzilla, so it'll be a battle. It'll be
that inner lizard. That inner lizard is
my lizard breathes blue fire, so he ain't gonna go down easy.
He ain't going down without a fight. Let me tell you that much. It's gonna be some King Kong versus Godzilla shit. King Kong is fucking Brian and God just trying to take down our lizard, and we are fighting in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah,
we are throwing haymakers at each other.
He's King Kong, but like before whatever happened to King Kong.
Yeah, when he's just a fucking regular
he's a
gorilla.
Monkey. Yeah, he doesn't have much of a shot.
No.
When it comes to God versus my dick's probably gonna beat him.
Dude, my dick spits literally nuclear fire. Okay, you're not winning, God. Brian and God are not stopping this nuclear dick. Okay,
but in spirit, I'm with Brian. I'm with him. I get it, man. It's fucking hard, dude.
It is hard out here.
Fuck yeah.
But man, this guy also sucks so much. What's his Patreon? That guy sucks. Like, you have got to be such a dork to be this upset about sex.
Just say you want to fuck little boys.
Right? And like,
why is it a long thread
waiting
for something that's probably like 100 characters? I like fucking kids.
Seriously, just wait for this guy. You know what I love too? I love
allegedly.
Let's throw.
I don't even know that's allegedly. That's because I'm the one alleging.
Was that 24 patrons? 24. I was gonna say, please tell me he has 24 patrons. That'd be great. And listen, I would love for everyone to go drink from the fountain of their wife. I would love for everyone to bathe in the sex of the one woman they've chosen or whatever. The problem is that stops. Everybody would just fuck their wife and their husband if the husbands and wives stayed hot and kept fucking each other. But we don't do that. So everybody else ends up fucking everybody else. That's it. Yeah, it's super easy for Brian to just go, yeah, fuck your wife. Yeah, guess what? A lot of people out here, it's not that easy, Brian. Christ almighty. Be a glory. Kill the lizard. Get your baked by Melissa. Today's episode is our last before Thanksgiving, before Valentine's Day, and so we've got our baked by Melissa. We got our little cutesy what is it called? Cupcakes right here. A little assortment of.
I like the pink ones. I don't know what's in them.
That chocolate one is fucking delicious. So baked by Melissa. It's a perfect example of a modern woman who's out here doing it right. Right? She's using her talents and her skills with a female-owned business that making these unbelievably baked pastries.
They're
that
very
people
moist. I saw.
love.
Yeah, they're
She's a mom, a baker, and the founder of Baked by Melissa. Her name is Melissa Ben Ishay. I don't know how to say her last name. But she is an inspiration to all of us. She's approved by KFC Radio and by Pastor Brian alike. So everybody can get down with Melissa because these treats are absolutely fire. She has a new Valentine's Day assortment. We're looking at it right here. It's all chocolates and red velvets and pinks and swirls, and it looks very pretty, and it tastes even better. And so it's a Valentine's Day assortment that kind of doubles as this is almost like getting a bouquet of flowers.
Only better.
But
Only
also you can eat it. It's almost like you can eat the flowers. So it's got decadent dulce
It's a
de
nice
leche.
way to separate yourself. Everyone's gonna get flowers.
Everyone does the flowers, so go the extra mile.
You gotta do both.
Absolutely
The
do
list
both.
of what you need to
Do
do is
all
ever
of it.
growing because it's the hardest time in human history to be a man. And it's just I'm gonna eat another one. It's just really good.
There's the dulce de leche. There's marshmallow, creamy milk chocolate, and they ship nationwide, and it's guaranteed to arrive fresh. You can choose your arrival date. I would recommend Valentine's Day, but also get it all next week. And it's also not just for Valentine's Day. It's also not just for women. You can get it for your guys. You can get it for your family members, your loved ones, your coworkers, whoever. They also have all sorts of dietary, specific type treats where if you're vegan and no nut and gluten-free, all that stuff. So right now you can also add the limited edition Valentine's Day gift box set. You get a box and a card, and you can add that to any assortment to make it the perfect gift. It's the day after the Super Bowl, so make sure you take care of this, and you can stock up on all your Super Bowl on Sunday, and then make sure Monday you take care of your girl and your loved ones with Baked by Melissa. So go to bakedbymelissa.com, order those Valentine's Day gifts now. So kill the lizard.
By the way, speaking of the lizard, if anyone, which I assume is everyone in this room, hasn't seen Jackass yet, must see.
God, I'm so fucking mad I was sick. I was saying how that was going to be the first movie in years that I was like going to be at opening night for it, and I couldn't go.
If you've seen it, speaking of the lizard segue, it does make sense. It opens with quite a lizard scene.
Dude, I saw someone tweet you and say, I'm going in blind. Like, I know nothing. And I know nothing about this, like, or something like that. Like, you know, I haven't been spoiled yet. Like, what do you, how,
We're gonna fuck each other
What do you
up.
fucking do? What do you mean?
In fact, most of the movie is like redoing stunts, which I didn't even put together
It's-
seeing the movie until after when they're doing like side by sides of the old one.
That's great.
They're old things with a twist.
Yeah.
But they've done something. I mean, there's only so many times, so many ways you can fuck someone up.
No, but you can keep doing it forever.
If I can spoil something for you, remember on this show when we talked about? Is it okay if I spoil a stunt?
You
for
can't
everybody?
spoil Jackass.
Okay.
You can't.
Yeah. It's not
That's why it's great. It's unspoilable.
It's not-
You could tell me that they put a pumpkin on someone's head and hit him in the head with a baseball bat, and I'm gonna watch it and still laugh.
There's one scene, the dark room scene with the snake. I literally thought I was going to have to get up and leave the theater. I was,
Because of,
I was
like,
in
laughing
so
so
much
hard?
pain.
Yeah?
If it didn't end when it ended, I was gonna have to leave because my stomach. It was
Were you
hurt,
high
it was,
for that, or
it was
or
hurt?
sober?
I was high for that.
Yeah, I gotta get high for this. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, bro, it was so sick, dude.
Is he
Dude,
just
I was-
like running around from a snake in a dark room? He doesn't know where
no,
it is.
No.
Okay, all right.
It's people are yes,
okay.
but there's not an actual snake. But they make him think, and it's
Okay.
it's a pitch black room.
Right.
It's fucking unbelievable,
Dude.
I forget their names. Who's the guy who has the best scared face? Where he's always. It's not Aaron. Aaron and someone else are my two favorites. I can't remember the other guys.
How are the new guys?
New guys are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not great, but they're good. Zach, I think, is the bigger new guy.
I mean, I know
He's the best.
there's Knoxville, Steve
it's
Pontius.
Poopy.
Poopy? I don't know that one.
Poopy, yeah.
Well, Poopy's new. But
His name is just Poopy?
Poopy's the best new guy, and then Zach's also a great new guy. But there's a Jackass. There's one of the other guys who's old.
DiCamillo. Brian Dunn. No, Ryan Dunn's he died, right?
Yeah, he
Bam
died.
Margera's not
That
in it
was what
anymore.
you were confused at, by the way.
Dave
You'd-
England?
You'd heard that at the end, like there's a thing for Bam.
Bam.
It's Ryan Dunn.
Oh.
It's like a little forever thing for him. But where is it? Hang on. It's Dave England. Yes, exactly. That's exactly who it is. So Dave England and Aaron are my two favorites. But the remember we talked about on the show. I think we talked about it with Chaps maybe when we were doing Dick Talk. How you can do whatever you want to a dick, to a flaccid dick. There's like it can.
Like
I
you
think-
run over with a car.
I believe I
fine.
compared it to a rat where
Yeah.
it can fit into any
hole.
hole.
Yeah. I mean, I could twist my flaccid dick like 25 times. It's
Kevin, they mash their cocks so thin and so small they turn them into ping pong paddles. They have these two plastic, clear, see-through paddles, right? And then they screw on the ends so tight that their dicks just get fucking mashed, and they're like, it doesn't hurt at all. It's fine.
It doesn't. It's
And then-
crazy.
and then- you know, like that game where like you have a paddle and you have the ball attached to it.
Yeah,
They're playing that with their fucking dicks.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, we've said that. Yeah, I think you could run over with a car. And it'd be fine. I think you could like step
It
on
was
it.
Pontius is like, I don't know, it doesn't hurt at all,
the
guys.
balls. The balls are terribly sensitive, and the dicks are indestructible.
Indestructible. I always knew it, but that I mean, like, even I was a bit flabbergasted. Like, wow, that is a flat penis. It was the size of half of a paddleboard, a ping pong paddle.
It's crazy, man. I love him. How about that story that Knoxville chose Jackass over SNL?
I saw that headline the other day. I didn't read the article.
Neither did I. That's all you need to know. Who cares? I mean, I guess if you were,
Because
if
the
you were to
article
think
I
that
read
if it was early 2000s, let's see, what does it say there? If it was early 2000s, that's actually a big deal because that's like Will Ferrell SNL days.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like if you turn down SNL right now for something, like, of course, yeah, that makes sense. But if Knoxville was if he was offered to do it in, you know, not the heyday, because the heyday is like the 90s with Farley and Hartman and Sandler and Rock and all that shit.
But that early 2000.
2000.
But yeah.
2000.
So that's like, you know, the only other time that I would really like vouch for SNL and be like, it was comedy greatness would be then. And what I love about it is, and again, I haven't really read the whole article. I think Johnny Knoxville is a pretty funny guy. I don't think he's like, you know, I think that was an example of Johnny Knoxville and probably like his agent and manager and whoever knowing their limits and knowing what they're good at and what they're not good at. You know where Johnny Knoxville's value is? It's not in like writing little like skits. It's in like going to the fucking limits, you know? Could you imagine him just like, you know, it'd be funny him doing, you know, fucking more cowbell with Will Ferrell. It'd be all right, but I'd rather watch him turn his dick into a ping pong paddle. I'd rather watch him, you know, demolish his
He
friends
doesn't do it.
with violence.
and Poopy do it.
But you know what I mean?
but
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
is, I wonder, because like, again, it's, you know, we kind of talked about it with Shane Gillis. Like Shane kind of knew that he was never really the right fit, but he was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
this is more money than I've ever made before. This is prestigious. I'm going to say yes. And I don't know exactly where Knoxville was in his career, but thank God that he and his manager and whoever were like, well, we're gonna go do this MTV thing over here because this is where we're gonna make our money.
surprises me. I'd have to read the article. I remember reading a GQ cover story on Knoxville where it was talking about like he like kind of like was just wanted to be famous, would do anything to be famous. And
Well, it was like MTV or SNL, so I don't think it was like SNL or nothing.
but it seemed like he like arrived in LA with a new name and no money. Is kind of how it was portrayed, and obviously
And that like
that doesn't seem to be
you
the
think
case.
that he would have. What do you
No. I just think I believe that he was offered an SNL spot or whatever this is, but then it just seems like maybe the tale told to GQ wasn't quite accurate. It seemed like he had no
okay.
other
So
options
that's not
kinda
true.
deal.
Yeah. So he said on the Drew Barrymore show.
But his name's not Johnny Knoxville.
He said, I was really honored that Lauren offered me 5 minutes on the show each week to do what I wanted. And I had to choose. I was going to go on to an established show where I had a little bit of control. At the end of the day, it's like, am I going to go into a situation where I have no control, or am I going to bet on myself and bet on my friends and go in that direction? And ultimately, he bet on the latter, which could have been a disaster, but luckily it worked out. I mean,
I guess that makes sense. If you bet, you could still arrive to LA with nothing. If it did, they didn't let that part out. They let that out. They made it seem like he had there was nothing out there for him. Everyone. It was all doors closed.
I mean,
kind of
there's
deal.
probably not. I mean, that's obviously contradictory if Saturday Night Live is offering you something, but it's. I wonder if it was risky, you know, and I'm sure in hindsight he could maybe romanticize this and be like, we always knew we were going to be famous or whatever. Because on the one hand, you could think this might not work because it's just me and my dumb friends. But, you know, it's prestigious to be on Saturday Night Live, but it's still technically a dime a dozen. There's always a new cast member, right? What there's not a lot of are those guys. And you know, there's a couple new cast members, but really, if you think about it, since they started, it's only them. And there's other like daredevils and other YouTubers and other people who like do dumb shit, but it really hasn't become like a second and third generation of Jackass guys.
No.
Like it's kind of them, and then like they were truly like a flash in the pan. And I like to romanticize it because I think it's the funniest thing ever. But I think when this now ends, Jackass Forever is kind of over. I don't know if it'll be done again, because especially the way the world is going, like I just don't know if there's crazy motherfuckers out there doing it the way these guys did it.
I think they also changed what it was to be a guy.
Absolutely.
Like there was like pre them, it was when I think of like 80s like action stars, they're like I think of like I guess Schwarzenegger is one, although I think of him more 90s. But like there was like the action star era where it was like the Lone Ranger kind of deal. Like Bruce was like they were more average looking dudes. And then the 90s came and it was like everyone was a superhero, right? It was like
Shredded and like
monster, Stone. Like,
Yeah.
that's what men were. And then the 2000s, and it was like dudes are
Normal
like
ass guy, like skater, grungy,
yeah, and like
skinny
also,
fat.
but like they also made it.
You know what
They
did?
made being gay mainstream.
They made being
There's so
gay-
much dick touching.
Yes,
and it was
they-
like they took a hockey locker room and made it, and they combined a hockey locker room and a skate park, and the camaraderie of a hockey locker room with the humor of a skate park, and it was fucking unreal.
They did more. This is gonna sound crazy. The Jackass guys did more for the gay movement for straight people than anybody. Like within the gay community, there's certainly I don't know who it is, but there are gay icons that were so much more important to like the progressive movement for gay people. But for straight guys who were like before them, it would be like, I don't want to see your dick. I don't want to see anybody naked. Like that's weird. That's gay. And then like they kind of come along and it's like, okay, well I don't know. I think it's funny. Oh, you think it's funny too? Okay, then whatever. We can see each other's dicks.
Dude, there's
we can
so
touch
much-
each other. We can fuck each other. We can, what?
in
And
Jackass
then-
Forever, there's so much dick. It's wild.
and it's just, but like everybody agrees that it's funny. So like all of a sudden, I remember just being like, oh, okay, it's just funny to like, I can look
Dicks
at
are
your
funny.
balls and touch your balls and slap each other and fucking touch each other and fight each other and wrestle each other and shit. And it's just funny. And it's not like you don't have to be homophobic. I think they stopped homophobia within the straight community more than anybody in the gay community did.
And it was on us. It was only straight people who could end homophobia. You're welcome, gay people.
But you got to get the straights on board.
Balls
You
in
guys
our court.
within your own community.
It's the same thing with racism. Balls in our court.
Exactly. You got.
White people are going to be the ones that get credit for ending racism.
You got to get the whites on board to end racism, the same way that you had to get the straights on board to end homophobia, and that's what the Jackass guys did. They said, it's okay. Dicks and balls, it's all good, man. Being gay is funny. Being gay is inherently funny. It's just funny. Dicks and balls are by far the funnier of genitalia.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, girls aren't doing funny shit with their pussies. Like, what's the female
Nah,
equivalent?
that chick was funny. The one, I forget if it was a voice on when you weren't on or not. The one who wouldn't stop talking with her pussy.
I'm not on. Yeah,
That's
that's not
funny.
funny. That's not
funny.
funny. That was weird. Girls.
Oh, hello.
No, I don't like it. But you turn your dick into a fucking ping pong paddle, and we're good to go.
Mr. Peckman's hungry.
I'll challenge any of the girls out there who think that they can be funny with their pussies. Leave a voicemail, video, whatever. Prove me wrong. Show me if
Use that snatch. I don't know why I want my pussy to sound like
I was gonna
this.
say this is what pussy sounds like
Yeah.
when they talk. It sounds like Grover.
Oh, hello. I've been hungry all day. I'd like a sugary treat, maybe a salty treat as well.
Sounds like you're chewing on your tongue too. You sound like a John's pussy voice is real weird.
Don't worry about the blood. I bit my tongue.
Oh heavens to Betsy! Goodness gracious!
I'm gonna be like an octopus and strap myself to your face.
What? Like, what now?
This is how sex works, dude. Don't pretend you don't know how to do sex. This is how I do sex.
You need help, dog. You need counseling. You need better help. Better help. It is the online digital way to get your mental health help today. Whether you're a fucking weirdo like John, whether you are he's like, well, making my job harder. Whether you need some real help, whether you're just doing some little upkeep with the mentals, whatever stage in the mental health game you're at, BetterHelp is the answer for fast, easy online digital help on the internet. You can do it over text, you can do it over video, you can do it over the phone, and it gets rid of that awkward waiting in the waiting room, trying to find a person, being face to face, going to the office and seeing other patients, all the things that still make the stigma of mental health a little bit harder. Give me one too. BetterHelp gets rid of all of that by bringing you into the modern age. Everything else is done online. Why can't your mental health help be on there as well? So use therapy now before things get too hard, before things get worse. Make sure you get BetterHelp, because it's much easier to stay on track rather than try to get back on track once things are off the rails. So go to BetterHelp.com, BetterHelp.com.
It's the BETTER
/KFC and get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. And all jokes aside, as like the way we were talking about what the Jackass guys did for like regular dudes, I've heard a lot of people talk about listening to our podcast how like we have normalized therapy and mental health and the way we joke about it and talk about it. So if there's one thing we can do on a serious note, it's help that. So if you are thinking about it or have thought about it, want to do it, feel like you need to do it, now's the time to do it. And with our discount, it's that much easier. So go to BetterHelp.com /KFC, get 10% off your help.
I guess while we're on dicks, I just want to show you something real quick.
Oh boy. You gonna show me your dick?
Yeah. Can you go to Howie Mandel's Instagram page, please?
What? Howie Mandel's dick?
It's not Howie's, dude. Howie wishes he had a cock like this.
Huh?
It's honestly graphic. They might have taken it down. I think they took it down. Nope, never mind. No, they didn't. Bottom left. Keep going. One more. Yeah, that. This is honestly graphic. Jackie made me look away.
6-pound Yorkie hung like a 600-pound horse. Oh my God, that thing is swanging like a grand. Look at his little tongue. Look at his little tongue while he's licking. Wait a minute.
That is a massive cock.
That's also
on that dog.
That's also. The coloring is obviously the weird red rocket, but that's a bizarrely human dick on that dog.
Yeah, I know.
That is a human cock on a
Dude,
canine.
When he moves that leg, it's like because you see it bounce around,
it swinging, but
and
then
like,
you
oh,
see
that's
it.
a dick. You can see his dick, and then it fucking
Like right there. Wait, don't move it. Right there.
That's
That
a
looks like an
human cock.
uncut human cock.
Yeah.
An uncircumcised human dick is on that dog. And did he say like who's this dog? Is it? Is it his?
I don't think so. Just hashtagged it puppy.
Howie, why do you post shit like this? Not comment. Why do you post shit like this, Howie?
It is a wild.
That is no.
I'd fucking
That right
I'd
there.
eat that 6-pound dog if I got to keep his cock after.
What?
Like if
What did you just say? Wait, what did you just say?
All right, so if there was a genie, there's a magician, right?
You said I'd eat.
I'd eat the dog.
You'd eat that dog if you got his dick out.
If like that dick magically went to my body afterwards, I'd eat that dog for that dick, for sure.
Would you kill that dog?
Yeah.
Skin it, cook it.
I don't
eat
want to
it.
skin it. I'd eat it with
Okay,
the
but you have
hair
to kill
and
it.
the skin.
You have to kill it. You have to hit that dog in the head with a hammer.
Oh no, I'd shoot it.
Okay, you have to take a gun, shoot that dog in the head.
Yeah.
Someone else will skin it, and you have to eat everything that's reasonably edible.
I'd eat that whole
You eat
fucking
that
dog
whole
for
dog.
that dick.
And then you get that dick. Bro.
I walk around. I'm like, you like my cock?
Oh my god! That thing when it gets fully exposed it is swanging, dude. It is a grand. Oh! And you know what is just crazy?
It's a massive penis.
It's dragging on the ground almost. You know how uncomfortable that tip is while it drags on the carpet?
You think we're upset about how much bottoms and breasts are out there? This dog is like, if I see one more thing that makes me horny, Pastor Brian, bring me to salvation, please. My fucking
lizard.
I am rubbing my dickhead raw on the floor here, dude.
You know what I feel bad for? Is some other little 6-pound Yorkie that he's gonna try to fuck. Because that dog should go fuck an elephant. That dog needs to fuck like a buck, like a big ass deer. Dude. There's some little Yorkie's like, oh you're cute. Yeah. Let me just pop that ass out for you. Wait, no. It's as big as his tail and his legs.
When that dog fucks another Yorkie, Yorktown, it comes out of her mouth.
Absolutely. That's one of those like anime porns where it comes out the stomach and shit.
Every time he fucks, it's a murder. That dude
probably.
That dude leaves a trail of sad owners. That dude is putting the local vets out of business. the pound, they're like, we got no dogs to kill because Thor over here keeps fucking them out their mouths.
I'll actually, you know what is unfortunate? I bet that dog has done something. I bet a human has done something to that dog.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just don't think that a dog has a hammer like that without like word getting around town. Remember when Rhea's dog was Red Rocket all the time?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, that's an actual problem. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like, you can't have that around, like, kids and company and stuff. And that was a normal-sized dick. Yeah. If you have that dick, the only way that dog can, like that dog needs to join the circus. That dog needs to fuck humans. That dog
big
needs
gawk canine comes trotting in with the bearded lady and fucks her mouth.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The only person who can take a dick like that's the bearded lady.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That is a carny dog, and that needs to be, put are you looking up average dick size of dogs?
And if you're not, let's do it.
I mean, yeah, we might as well. I mean, I would say the average size of a 6-pound dog dick is
6.5?
3 inches. No.
6.5
centimeters.
Oh. I was like, I don't know, dude.
So yeah, go. I think that's like 3 inches, 6 centimeters.
I live in a region of the country where the dogs have the littler dicks then.
But I think 24 inches is, so if 6 is 2, then 24 is 8. So that's, I guess that's the Yorkie with the 8-inch dick.
A 10-inch dick.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
We just saw, dude. What do you mean? Get out of town. We just saw proof of it.
That one's a 10. Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
It was scraping the ground.
You're right.
That thing, has little 10-inch legs and a 10-inch cock.
You need a map quest to get to the end of that thing from the base. It's like a turn. It's like the GPS is gonna interrupt you. Like, stay right, because it's got
that poor dog. You know what's happened to that dog right there? Why he's licking and stumbling? Because all of the blood in his body, all of the blood in his tiny body is going to his dick. He probably passes out every time he gets a hard on because there's no goddamn blood in his brain. His lungs aren't pumping because all of his bodily functions are moving towards his dick. Holy Christ. How about this? Okay, here's a fucked up question. Would you rather have a human micro penis or that exact dick? Like, it's weird colored, but you get that or a micro penis.
Probably
That's
that.
a fucked up question.
Probably
Definitely.
that.
I'm taking that dick dog, a dog dick 1,000 times out of 1,000.
That's fucking...
Because imagine.
They'd be like, why is it purple? I took it from a dog. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Picture this. You're
either this or an acorn.
You bring a girl home for the first time, and she takes your pants off, and she goes, whoa, what is that? And you go, listen, lady, it was either that or a micro penis.
It's a dog's dick. What is it, your first time?
You never seen a dog cock before? It's a little bit different. Now, shut up. That's
what is this? What does it look like? It's fucking Yorkie's penis.
That is...
I'm an adult man.
That's a weird looking dick, but way less weird than a micro penis.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
as
a girl, Jackie, what would you prefer?
I knew you were gonna.
Yeah.
If I don't know if it's a dog's?
Yeah. Let's just say, but it looks just like that. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
probably would say this human dick looks a lot like a dog dick, but you don't have to know that it's actually.
I don't
No,
know that
I
I
would
would. I
take
think
that.
You prefer that?
Yeah.
Jackie's fucking dog dick.
Stop.
Yep.
I'd just be like, it's like, say like you were in an acid attack once. What? You were in an acid attack.
Like yeah, I have a mangled penis.
Yeah, like.
Well, you know what's weird?
Like,
They do
I broke
make-
up with a girl and she was so furious she dumped acid on me, and most of it landed on my penis. And now you have this thing. You might
now
think
you're
you may think it's a dog's penis. It's not. It's an
Trust
acid
me,
penis.
it's a mangled human dick. Don't worry. They do make like weird dildos and shit that are the dragon dicks and all that.
Expensive too.
So there's okay. So there's
Was it not
there's-
on this show? Was it on? I
I'm
was
sure it was on this show.
It was on this. We looked it up. Prices are pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's people
They
out
don't
there,
just give away fucking dragon dildos that come in you.
oh right, we did that. Yeah. If there's people out there who willingly buy like the dragon dildo, then there's people out there who will fuck the dog dick.
Yeah, it's an icebreaker.
Actually,
Hey, what's up?
do whoa.
The archer.
Wait, let's try to find. See, like, wait, slow down. Let's go through it. Like bottom right corner there is kind of like that dog dick. Like no, in the red boxes, bottom right. Yeah, that's kind of like that red dick.
It's bulbous.
You know,
that-
I bet you if we look through this, we could find a dick that's just like that Yorkie's cock.
definitely.
And it's like if they're selling these things online, that means some people are down with this shit. So, of course, you pick the dog
Look
dick
at that
over the
one.
micro penis.
Oh boy, that's attached to a grenade.
It's attached to a grenade. Yes, it is.
This one's just called John.
It is. Would you want the John? I'll tell you what.
2021 alt porn winner.
That
You're
is
welcome.
not based on Feidelberg. I'll tell you that much.
No, I have circumcised. That thing's uncircumcised. I don't appreciate you giving
How
me a
about
bad
that
name.
one with the fucking Mario box? That was a dick. That was a dick designed with the Mario Brothers boxes. That's amazing. You hit that thing, get some coins out of it. Wow.
I'm glad the dog didn't disappoint. I was worried that it would. It seems like it didn't.
I mean, Howie's out of control, dude.
Yeah, it's Howie's just
Howie's
posted.
out of pocket on fucking social media, dude. Goodness gracious. All right, so we got to get into Am I the Asshole? We've got our voicemails, of course. I have a new person that I hate the most on the internet right now. One of the funnest things that I got excited about was seeing the goddamn nuclear wasteland in the Chinese Olympics. And the people who are now correcting you to say that it's not actually a nuclear power plant are the worst.
What is it?
I don't know. It's like a cooling tower. Or, like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
The point is how absolutely absurd it looks. Okay? I didn't really actually think for a second that they were putting anybody in nuclear danger. The point is that they put people in this some sort of industrial complex that looks like it has nuclear power plant smokestacks. I used to live right by a power plant when I lived outside of Philly. Shout out to Limerick Power Plant. We used to go on fucking field trips from Valley Forge Elementary to a power plant that looked exactly fucking like that. So when the goddamn Olympics are being hosted there, it looks really fucking funny. So the people who are like, actually, it's not really a nuclear power plant. It's like, actually, you should kill yourself. Because nobody likes you. Because we're all just making fun of how ridiculous China is right now and how bad it looks. And Mr. Literal over here is taking all the fucking fun out of it.
I think it looks more ridiculous zoomed out, which is crazy to say. Like that you can have cooling towers that look like that. People think at first glance are a nuclear
Look
power
at
plant.
that.
As you zoom in, and you're like, oh no, it gets worse when you
Look,
zoom out.
all those other like stacks and buildings and pipes and all that shit. I mean, it.
Have you seen
all
like,
of
the
it?
food that they're eating? Like the Russians posted.
Well, I mean,
Why? Like
listen.
honestly, God, if this was the last Olympics ever, it wouldn't surprise me.
I totally
if
agree.
they- if
This
they,
has
like-
no buzz
It's-
in America, at least has no buzz. It has no pageantry. I'm sure the athletes fucking hate it. Look at that. I could have told you that, like, some of the like massive, like a massive. I'm not saying that there's like no good food, no good Asian food, obviously, but like when you're doing something like this,
There's a lot of very good Asian food.
right. But I'm saying when you're doing something like this on like a massive scale, I could have absolutely guaranteed you that you were just getting weird shit
Well,
slopped into a fucking
I think-
styrofoam bag.
I think that's just the Olympics as a whole because
Right.
I read a quote from.
I'm sure it's been bad in Russia. I'm sure it was bad in America. I'm sure, I'm sure none of it was
Usain
great.
Bolt said when he won in Brazil, maybe I think it was, the only thing he was eating was 100 chicken McNuggets a day.
Right.
It's the only
Because
thing he
it's like
could
the only
trust
thing
to
that's
put in his body.
Right.
Like, the only thing he knew how his body
Like
would
I know
react
it's
to it.
bad, but at least it's fucking
The
something
devil
I've had.
you know type
Yes,
deal.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, all of anytime you're doing, you know, the lodging at the Olympics is always terrible. I'm sure the food, all the logistical stuff when you do the Olympics.
Was it last Olympics or was it this one where they made everything out of cardboard?
Yeah, that was Sochi, right?
No,
Where it
no,
was-
that was more recent.
No, that was the last Summer Olympics, I think.
Right, but that was more recent than Sochi.
Probably. Last summer was the last
That
summer
was
was
to make sure they weren't having sex on the beds.
That I feel like that was a lie.
What, they broke the beds. Or something like that?
Yeah, but like it was. I
But,
know
oh,
someone
you know
said
what I
that.
mean?
I know it's been said, but I think it was just like it's just easily recyclable. Like
Yeah.
it makes more sense than building a ton of beds. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's hard to fuck on cardboard, but I'd be surprised if that was the main reason behind it.
The main problem here is that I think the very modernized and like what we're used to as like Western culture countries, I think realize how fucking stupid it is to host the Olympics. Like
because you ruining everything.
yeah, I mean it's just expensive. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It's just not the return is not really like I think there was a time where it was very prestigious, and I think some of these developing countries want to do it because they want to prove on like they can host these things on a big scale. But like I think for America, it's like we're all set. You know what I mean? And I'm
mean,
sure
they definitely still want it.
I'm sure they want it.
just-
I don't think it is what it used to be. And
Didn't
so I
LA
don't-
just get it?
Huh?
Didn't LA just get it?
I think they're coming up. I think London was relatively recently, right?
London was recently, yeah. London was, I would say, like 2008, maybe something like that. LA is 2028.
So I'm sure, I'm not saying they're not going to do it, but I think it's just like, yeah, all right.
It's just it's the time zone doesn't help. It's the time zone and the fact that you can't do anything.
And-
you can't post
and-
pictures. You can't like promote it.
And they're jamming Peacock down your throat. They don't allow the internet to cover it. The way that the rest of like sports in general has kind of like globalized. It's like I don't know. There's just not much appeal to it anymore. Also, I guess it really depends on. Whoa. That was weird. Whatever was going on the screen there. We are all mesmerized by like Google has like some sort of thing where baseballs fly across the screen, and we are all like puppies. We're like little kittens with a fucking little laser thing a laser pointer on the wall. I can't even talk. What is that?
Why is this happening?
It's just
Why did you Google Tory Stone?
No,
Tony Stone.
when you click on the Google logo, it brings you to whatever day it is, and they're honoring Tony Stone today.
Tony
for,
Stone's like the first female black player or something like that. I'm assuming.
to play professional baseball woman.
And all these baseballs fly across the screen. This is going to be a horrible segment right now. You don't know what's going on, but all of us were like frozen in time. Would you go to the Olympics if like?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? I don't even think I would go.
I definitely. I mean, it's a cool. I'm sure it's an experience. It's a story to tell. It's something that'll happen. I'd absolutely go.
What would you want to watch?
Winter Olympics, I'd go watch hockey for sure. I'd watch.
Well, that doesn't
I'd probably watch like
Like a real Olympic sport.
a real Olympics sport. I'd watch figure skating. I'd watch luge or skeleton, bobsled. I'd watch half pipe. I'd watch big air. I'd watch slalom racing. I'd watch a lot of them.
Really? I don't have any interest in any of that. Even when I do like tune in like the Eileen Gu storyline has been the big one, and I saw her like
definitely watched
1640
Big,
double
yeah.
cork, and I was just like, oh, okay. And I don't even know the difference between good and bad.
It's all good. That's the Olympics. It's all like, holy shit, that was
Yeah.
sick. And then they have the judging system, but it's
Right.
all. Oh, I definitely go to curling.
I fuck with curling.
Yeah.
Curling for sure. And if there's big dramatics, like I would have loved to be around for the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding shit. That was theater at its finest. That was.
I don't really remember.
Bro, she hired a fucking monster.
No, I mean I know. I don't remember it in the moment. I know the story.
Yeah,
but
that's so sick.
When did it happen? 96?
94.
91.
91? No,
No,
I
no,
vaguely
it's
remember it.
It's even years anyway. There's no odd years.
94.
94.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is that. I mean, you'll just never get something like that. I mean, if that happened now,
Yeah.
like there. I don't know. It's probably just the internet. But there was a level. I wonder what the cutoff is. It's probably like 1994 and probably like OJ, because like OJ was crazy too. Nancy Kerrigan was wild, and these are stories that I remember. But like the maybe it is the internet and how everyone has a platform now. The think pieces and the coverage and shit of a story like that, a fucking mobster breaking some chick's kneecap, is so absurd.
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't. It's different because it's soccer, but like, it's also one of those things where I feel like because the internet is so big and everyone weighs in, that opinions just get like
Washed out.
not even washed out. People just get sick of reading them. Like I felt like that with Tom Brady, where it was like when Tom Brady retired, everyone had an article, and I was like, I don't need to read it. Yeah, it was too much. I ended up reading.
But
like
that's also
none.
retirement is just whatever. I
mean,
would
retirement
rather,
is the greatest. But
it's
what I'm saying is it's also just happened. It was soccer, so it's different. But this exact thing just happened.
Well, what?
With PSG, with Paris Saint-Germain, the starting striker, the backup striker hired the mobster to break the starting striker's knee. Like the exact thing happened.
And they're like major players.
PSG, yeah, it's PSG. PSG is like
But the players are a big deal.
It's women's, so it's obviously it's less, but it's like.
Yeah. I mean, if that was like the World Cup or something, I feel like I would be more interested in it. But the like it's the classic question of like what do you wish Twitter was around for? Because I mean, just some of these stories just feel like I can't even imagine what would happen if some of that shit went down today. But yeah, I don't know. The Olympics. I don't know what it is, but nobody cares.
No,
right?
it's got to be a time thing because even like.
But there's always been time problems.
Yeah,
There's always
because
been time,
I have the last few nights where like I've been kind of flipping around TV
And I used to know
it's on
Peekaboo Street and Lindsey Vonn and like and I do know know Eileen Gu and like that story, but like I mean, I guess Shaun White is retiring or his last one. Other than that, I don't know anybody about anything at all.
Yeah,
and I guess the Summer Olympics sometimes has more juice with the swimming and the track and field, but boy, nobody gives a fuck about this.
It helps when there's not a genocide taking place in the country.
Yeah, I mean that's
No, I mean I don't think anyone's not putting it on because of that because we're fucked. But like it is.
What do you think's going on with Eileen Gu? Why do you think she wants to compete as Chinese instead of American?
I don't. I've noticed you keep seeing that name. I don't
Yeah,
know
she's
who
like
that is.
she's like 18-year-old snowboarder, beautiful chick, amazing snowboarder, born in America, lives in America, American dad, Chinese mother, and somehow she's just being allowed to compete as Chinese. China doesn't allow dual citizenship, so I like don't even know how this is happening. I'm sure they just like dropped a duffel bag and it was like play for us instead. But
well, if you're a host,
I mean,
if you're the host country, the statute for whether or not you're a citizen
can compete for them
because
changes.
if you're a host country, you're guaranteed someone in every event. So therefore, you can't. It's harder to like. There's some things where like some sports that your country doesn't really.
But
play.
I would imagine snowboarding.
I would guess.
If they use their one like designated, whatever.
Yeah,
they could.
I think I was saying with hockey when the NHL was going, Brandon Yip was going to be the captain of the Chinese team. The NHL's not going anymore, so I don't think he is.
Yeah,
but I don't know what happened.
She said, "When I'm in America, I'm American. When I'm in China, I'm Chinese." I was like, that doesn't sound like the rules to me. I think it's a lot more than that usually to like qualify for a country on the Olympics, but. China's super corrupt. The Olympics are super corrupt. I just can't imagine. I don't know like what America. I mean, it's up to her, but I would imagine like the American Ski Federation was probably like, please play for us.
Right.
I mean, she would be.
She's a snowboarder.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Eileen Gu. She just took gold in the big on that the power plant thing. She did a 1640 double cork or something, and she was something like only the third woman to ever even like complete this trick. But she just took home gold as a Chinese athlete. But she also got a 1580 on her SATs. She's going to Stanford. She's like the perfect specimen of a human. She would be.
Oh wait, is she a skier?
Yeah. Sorry. Was I saying snowboard? Sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought Chloe Kim was like the shit in snowboard.
Yeah. Sorry, skiing. And maybe that's part of the difference too. Snowboard's sexier. But I mean. If she was American, I think it would be like on some Michael Phelps type shit. People would be like all over her. The double cork 1620. She spins 4.5 times while rotating twice off axis with 20 feet in the air. I mean, it's preposterous. 4.5? That's insane.
It is.
All right, let's get into Am I the Asshole? Am I the Asshole today is brought to you by Nap Jitsu. If you are like us, you're tired and unhealthy, and dragging ass pretty much always. And so people come up with all sorts of ways to try to get through the day. You're doing energy drinks, you're doing caffeine, you're doing coffee, and all of that is just a Band-Aid and a short-term solution that ends up fucking you in the long run because you have that inevitable crash, and then you got to use more of it to get back up, and it's this endless cycle of feeling like you are tired and drained, and that's where Nap Jitsu comes in. They are time-released natural caffeine that can keep your energy steady throughout the day. So instead of just going to get an extra cup of coffee or this many hour energy or all these other unnatural and like hardcore answers, you can find a healthier option with Nap Jitsu that gets you through that 2 p.m. I'm tired and how am I going to make it to 5 o'clock feeling. It's basically like you get yourself a nice little midday nap, but we're all adults and we got jobs and responsibilities, so you can't just close your eyes and go to sleep. But that's where Nap Jitsu comes in. With the brain-boosting nootropics that unlock that steady energy with the time release right when you need it. Go to napjitsu, napjitsu.com/KFC. Get 30% off your first purchase. I mean, this is something I absolutely 100% would recommend. It's supplements packaged into small little packets. If you are a parent, if you're a working parent, if you got kids, if you got a hard job, if you're working double shifts, if you're a student, whatever it is, you got natural ingredients like vitamins and guarana and ginseng, all that stuff in a tiny little packet that gives you a boost of energy. Sign me up. napjitsu.com/KFC. Get 30% off. Don't say I never did anything for you. 30% off your natural energy.
I'm gonna start with am I the asshole?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for wearing the shirt? Because that's an
evergreen comment. You could probably use that about like every other week, once a week.
I think the answer is somewhere yes, somewhere no, because it's
one of the best reasons to ever watch KFC Radio on YouTube is right now. To see John's t-shirt. If you're listening, stop what you're doing, go over to the YouTube, subscribe, and look at John wearing this goddamn Winnie the Pooh shirt with Eeyore and Tigger hugging each other.
Okay, so we got a good look on it. My aunt got this for me for Valentine's Day. I am 33 years old. My aunt, I don't know exactly how old she is, but she's older. And she got me this for my Valentine's
In like an
Day.
ironic way?
No, I don't think so.
Are you a Winnie the Pooh fan?
Nope, not so
like
much.
when you were growing up as a kid?
She said we talk about it on the podcast.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I said, I don't know. Do we
talk about Winnie the Pooh on the podcast?
It's come up several times that's one of the like leading franchises in the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was
That's
like
not,
one time.
We discussed it, but it's not like it's like. I mean, I do like Winnie the Pooh like as a kid, but like I don't. It's not like I have some weird adult fetish. Or
she
something.
said I'm Tigger. She said this shirt reminds me of her.
Well, the wonderful thing about Tigger is he's the only one, and you are one of a kind, John.
Well, but in this shirt, the context would be that I'm a happy person who hugs people.
Yeah, you are Eeyore.
No, I think the context is you're holding on to depression as hard as you can.
I mean, if anyone was ever to get John some sort of Winnie the Pooh material and say you are XYZ character, it would make sense if they said Eeyore.
But also sometimes Tigger.
Yeah, because you are manic as fuck.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, that you are that shirt.
Yeah.
That you know what? She's fucking right. Maybe she just didn't want to say this is the yin and the yang of this bipolar depressed kid. But that right there is the duality of John Henry Feidelberg. Sometimes in a deep depression, sometimes in a like let's go.
She got me two. She also got me one that's orange and just Tigger on it.
Wow.
And that one's kind of sick too.
So maybe
they're both so bad they're great. Like so that's really with the am I the asshole question. Am I the asshole for wearing a shirt that's an inside joke with just me and myself?
Yeah.
Like I think this shirt is hilarious to me because of all that stuff that no one knows. And I was wearing it like walking on to work today, and I could like in my head feel people watching it being like, "What the hell's that shirt?" And I was like, "You don't get it." My aunt got it for me. It's ridiculous. That's why this shirt's funny, and no one else is ever gonna know that.
I think it plays though. I think it's kind of like a little hipstery, artsy, like throwback nostalgia shirt. Like if you were to walk around wearing something else from the 90s in the childhood, it would play.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they know all that shit that we just talked about.
Yeah.
But if
I don't like it for that reason.
Yeah,
I don't want you
yeah.
to think it's like a whole nostalgia.
Right.
This is funny because
like
my aunt thinks it reminds her of me of her.
If you were wearing like a Care Bear shirt that looked like a vintage retrojunk.com t-shirt, People do that.
Yeah.
People have
that's
the Oregon Trail shirts and all those things. But no. There's a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
And it's fucking weird. Speaking of t-shirts, while we're at it, I've been talking about it on social media. We are trying to nail down a new logo for the show. Not even really for the show. We want to make some KFC Radio merch because, we make here, we focus on actual like merch, like Sad Boy Season and the Moon Man line and hoodies and clothing that you can actually wear. But we don't have anything that like really represents the show. Because the name sucks and because it's weird, it's hard to just have.
Name's
like,
great.
Okay.
It used to think
Name's
it sucked.
great. Now it's come back around?
It's
Okay.
so bad. It's great.
So with that, well, now Pav's put together this. It's kind of looking like almost like a gym wear,
Which is-
athletics, like Gold's Gym or something like
Honestly,
that.
something I'd been wanting to make I didn't even think about doing it for KC Radio, but I remember talking to Nardini about it, like a worn like Barstool thing. This is like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
This
like
is
an
a long
inside
time
out,
ago.
like frayed. But what I
Yeah.
love about this is seeing that established 2012. Like 2012 is a long time ago. Now. That's a long time ago. I'm proud of seeing that number. Like when it was 2018 and we had been around for a while, and you see 2012, it's like whatever. This is our 10-year anniversary this year. Like in June of this year, it'll be 10 years. So I like seeing that established.
July.
Huh?
July.
No, I started in June.
July 14th. That's like, isn't that the date that the Twitter started? Everything July 14th.
I'm pretty sure it's June 14th.
June, yeah.
Yeah, June 14th.
June 14th.
Yeah.
Read that wrong.
But so I like that. But
It's
on
gonna be out by tonight if you want to push them.
those will be out. Okay, yeah. So on sale will be the new like just classic KFC Radio. We're also trying to come up though with something for the chicken heads. With all these NFTs, with the bored apes and the sad boys and the like lazy monkey and the tired lion and all these things, there's got to be some sort of funny or cool or sleek or minimalistic chicken logo. And we've gotten some cool chicken related type logos that I've sent over, but nothing that I've thought I'd be like, I would rock a t-shirt or a hoodie with that. So everything that we've gotten has been like clip art feeling or very like, listen to our radio show. We got these chickens with headphones on. It's like, I want something that, like these NFTs and these things that are actually cool. And so, we have our people are like, why don't you, have your design team do it? I'm like, we're trying. We just haven't come up with anything. So we're opening it up to all the chicken heads, anybody who has any talent or digital design, or if you just got a cool, it could be something as simple as like Feidelberg Sad Boy Season sketch, So send it over on social media or email or whatever, and if we do pick you, we'll throw you a few bucks. So get on your merch grind and help us out. And let's get into Am I the Asshole today. Am I the asshole for ruining my work colleague's wedding and getting them arrested? Title sounds bad, but hear me out. Yeah, that sounds like you're gonna have to convince me. I, 38-year-old female, had two work colleagues, Mary and Adam, both in their late 20s, early 30s. Mary started the company first, and then she got Adam to join. They worked in different departments. Mary was in mine. Later, Mary left the company to pursue another career. That's when they started at the company, they were already married for a few years. Now, Mary is the kindest and loveliest person I've ever met. She was always polite, helpful, and would cheer anyone up. We missed her dearly. So it came to a shock. What does that mean? When we found out that she is divorcing Adam because he cheated on her. I have called her to express how sorry I am that this happened to her, and we were talking blah, blah, blah. I was impressed how well Mary holds herself in such a situation. She wouldn't badmouth Adam, and the only thing she mentioned was how her wedding dress and a few family heirlooms went missing when she was moving her stuff from their apartment. She thought they might be misplaced in a different box and would turn up eventually. A few years passed. Jesus. I now work in the same department as Adam. He's a good work colleague, but can be dismissive and ignorant sometimes. Adam invited me to his wedding with the lady. Adam invited me to the wedding with the lady, Chelsea, that he cheated on Mary with. Okay, follow? Mm-hmm. As the entire department was invited. I said yes, making sure Mary is okay with this. I've also told her where the wedding would be. On the day of Adam's wedding, I noticed that Chelsea is wearing a similar dress that Mary wore in the photo of her wedding a couple years ago. So without thinking, I snapped a picture and sent it to Mary, saying, "Doesn't this dress look familiar?" Mary saw the message, but she didn't respond. About an hour later, the police show up at the venue. I need to add that the police in our country is ruthless, and any theft is considered a criminal matter. Police have asked Chelsea to take the dress and all the jewelry off. Chelsea refused and started arguing with them. Then Adam joined in. As they were rude to the police, they were taken to the police station. Everyone at the wedding had to leave. I tried to call Mary, but she wouldn't pick up the phone. We found out later that Chelsea was wearing Mary's wedding dress and her heirlooms. Mary spotted them on the picture that I sent and called the police. Apparently, she has previously asked Adam if he had them. He declined, saying he never saw them. So after she saw the picture, she called the cops. Chelsea had to leave the wedding dress and the jewelry at the police station and go home wearing her underwear and Adam's jacket after they were bailed out. Yesterday, Adam returned to the office and went completely mental at me, blaming me for sending a picture to Mary. Woo! Woo! Woo!
She brought it around. No, you're not the asshole.
I mean, ultimately, Adam is a fucking scumbag thief, you know? But also, it's like, what are you doing taking pictures and sending it to my ex?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, yeah, I agree.
You know, it's kind of
agree.
like, you're only at, like, what was best case scenario is, like, you just ruin Mary's day and create drama, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she didn't say, like, look, this woman stole your dress. Maybe she was just saying, maybe she was. If it was a genuine, like, this bitch stole from you, we're going to pinch him, okay. But if it's kind of like, wow, look at this, like the new girl is wearing a dress just like yours, it's just like, you're just stirring the pot.
That I completely agree with. I think I forget what shows you're on, but we were talking about that recently with I think I was talking with Brad Williams, where it was like when people say things like when I was in Vegas, people were like, dude, I don't know why everyone hates you, and it's like, okay, well, you don't like. I don't.
You don't have to fucking say that.
I don't need to know that.
I know.
And Brad Williams did it to us too. He said he's like Caroline's. I'm not gonna tell you. How about that? I'm not gonna tell him. Kevin doesn't.
Well,
need
you
to
have
know.
to tell me now.
He was at Caroline's and said he was coming on. Half the crowd went crazy. Half the crowd booed.
Wait. He said when we went on stage at Caroline's.
No. What he we interviewed him Monday. He did Caroline Sunday night, and he's like, tomorrow I'm going on K. I don't know if he's at Case Radio or Barstool.
Why the fuck would you say that?
And he was like, yeah, half the crowd went crazy, half the crowd booed. I was like, all right. He must have said Barstool.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's much more a Barstool thing, and unfortunately a Dave thing. I hope.
Yeah.
Let's just throw Dave under the bus. He threw me right under the bus the other day, so I'm throwing him under the bus on that one.
I didn't say it. That was Kevin Clancy. He shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, I get I actually like the most form of support that I get are people when they finally are fed up with hate and then send me a message being like, you get so much hate that I want to help balance out and give you some love, which is cool. But you just don't need to say that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like, oh, I see nothing but an avalanche of hate on you. So I'd like to try to be a drop in the goddamn ocean. I'll be a deck chair off the Titanic and try to help you here. You could just say I like your stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see the tweet? So we talked about it, saying that when you hosted the show alone, I got a lot of tweets being like, Kevin doesn't need to come back. And then you didn't get any tweets from people just saying that you did a good job. And then someone tweeted both of us and said, like, brought that conversation up and said, John, you did a great job, but I'm happy to have Kevin back. You guys are the sum. You guys, how does that go? The greater the sum of the greater than the parts.
Yeah.
And then he goes, it's why I don't listen to your solo show. You were so close. You were so fucking close. You didn't need to say that.
I saw that one. I'm like, I hope I don't see that one.
It was like
the same thing
3
you're talking about,
lines,
yeah.
3 sentences. Good. Totally ruined the whole thing. You guys have no couth. You have no tact. But I'm hoping that was more of a Barstool reputation than I mean, there's really, I can't imagine a crowd at Caroline's booing this show. Yeah, we're not on that level. What is funny, speaking of Dave throwing me under the bus to those 3 guys, so I got a message from the youngest brother of that trio. Is like
they're all brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can tell that there's 2 brothers and then there's the 3rd brother. The one guy who didn't say a word during that whole debate.
The fact that it happened at midnight, it's like the Olympics. I just didn't see it. I knew it was happening, but I didn't see anything. And then by the time I woke up, I guess it all blew over. We talked about it a little bit on the show, but
yeah, the 3rd one apparently is like a day 1 2012 KFC radio listener and had sent me a message being like, it's not what you think. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I think it is, but I don't want to get involved in any of this shit, bro. So appreciate the support. I'm done talking about it.
Unless they want to hire us to create propaganda or whatever.
cut the check, bro.
I'm
I don't give a
absolutely
fuck.
for sale. Is that? I
Yeah.
mean,
Imagine if we just have a
su-
second career one day and it's like taking down Dave and Barstool.
Super PACs have a ton of money, right? Okay.
They do, but I don't think they do. Like, I heard that. I think the whole thing about super PACs is that they can raise unlimited money, but I heard that those guys raised like $4 million, and I was like, that's not enough.
That'll get me.
Well, yeah. If it's $4 million going to me, yeah, but
Yeah, no, I'm for sale, and the price is less than $4 million.
way less, way less. Okay, so final answer. You know what? I think final answer. I think she's still kind of the asshole because it's like, okay, it's not cool that you got your dress and your heirloom stolen. And unless we're talking, if that's like major money, then, whatever.
It's been years. What do you need it for again?
And when you go on, if you know that you live in a country where some motherfuckers are getting like their hands chopped off because they stole something, so now you've ruined these people's weddings. Which, whether or not Adam's a sleazebag, you don't like him, this other girl, Chelsea, is completely innocent. She doesn't know any of this shit. She just got a gift and got a wedding, and you know what I mean? So you've ruined their wedding. She's naked in a fucking like, I don't know, Turkish jail or wherever the fuck she is now. And Mary's at home just being like, fuck. It's like nobody really wins here.
Yeah.
So just stay out of people's shit.
Also, just don't fuck up a wedding.
Right.
My sister's
Do it
wedding
later.
got broken up by the cops.
Right.
And it was like, what are we doing here?
You can do it tomorrow
It
or
was
whatever,
like, It was like 10 p.m., a little after 10. We had a full band at the house and shit. And like, neighbors aren't very close to us, but someone called the cops. They said someone downtown, my parents live in like a very rural area. Yeah. They said someone downtown called the police, like someone in town. And we're like, what are you talking about?
It's like they were blasting off like
there's
fireworks.
No way you could
and
hear
shit,
it in town. And then the cops showed up. Like, they had like 4 cops cars show up, like lights are blaring. Like, it's like what are you doing?
Over
what are you
yourselves.
doing right now? And again, it's a very small town. It's like, what are you doing here?
Well, that's why, because small town cops love that,
Yeah,
they need some sort of
in this small town, people have up a sign that says like, "We love our hero cops." And it's like, there's 500 people who live here,
bro.
I don't know if it's.
I don't want to start to play, which cops are better than what cops, but small town cops are not heroes.
Heroes.
You're not a hero.
Hero is a word that means things.
You have to.
Pat Tillman's a hero. That's her.
Yeah, right.
Are you putting yourself on that level?
That's what I mean. Like hero used to mean you like sacrificed your life in 9/11. Not if you're a rural cop who like one day broke up a wedding. Yeah. Come on, man. Hero.
It's just a crazy thing to say. Like, I'm a hero.
Right.
Well, you're not.
No, you can't. You actually, as a matter of fact, you cannot.
You're a person who has a job,
and you cannot.
That's respectable.
You cannot proclaim yourself a hero.
No.
If the words "I'm a hero" ever come out of your mouth, you're a fucking asshole. It's got to be decided by other people.
It's like
giving yourself a nickname.
It's like the fucking Curb episode when Jeff and Susie's daughter is dating a former Marine, and Larry doesn't say thank you for your service.
Right.
And he's like,
right.
I don't know, like, everyone said it. Like, he's like, yeah, but I wanted to hear from you. I was like, wow. I don't know, man. Like,
fuck that.
like,
Fuck that.
I don't have to call you a hero. Everyone else is calling you a hero. I gotta call you a hero too.
All right. Am I the asshole for kicking my mom out of my house because of how she reacted to her partner not liking my wife's chili? It's a lot of moving parts.
So wait, this mom's partner.
My mom's partner didn't like my wife's chili.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird way. So it was.
Let's say I got a partner. My mom
I know partner doesn't mean.
So my mom's a lesbian. Her lesbian.
I know partner means both, but this is just giving me lesbian vibes.
Yeah. So let's just say mom and girlfriend, and the girlfriend doesn't like my wife's chili. Okay. That way. My mom and I have just come off a 3-year. My mom and I have just come off a 3-year estrangement. Her and my wife hated each other from day one, just really clashed, and my mom was going through some stuff in her personal life and acting out. We mutually
Sounds
agreed
like a lesbian.
it wasn't fixable.
Sounds like someone was coming out of the closet.
And we should go our separate ways. I recently reconnected with her at a party and told her that I wanted to try and fix things. My wife supported this. My mom is with someone I'll call Rob.
Not a lesbian.
I'm pretty sure they are engaged, but to be honest, not 100% sure. So this is weird. If you don't know whether your mom's engaged or not, this is fucking weird. We've seen my mom a couple of times since reconnecting, and I can tell she's really trying. She seems extremely anxious and too nervous to talk, so we're taking it really slow, but I do believe that is her trying. Recently, we invited my mom and Rob over. My wife was making chili in the crock pot, and it was done, but we weren't ready to eat. She had some tortilla chips and said that she likes dipping it in the chili and invited them to have some while we waited. Rob took some and gagged. I don't think he did it on purpose, and he seemed embarrassed, but my wife's chili is very sweet. She uses maple syrup, chocolate powder, cinnamon, and brown sugar. My mom laughed, which upset my wife because she has always been smug about not thinking my wife is a good cook. I could see my wife getting annoyed and snapped at my mom. Rob kind of looked ill and excused himself. My mom stood there for a minute in silence and then bolted after him, started banging on the bathroom door and demanding to be let in. He was ignoring her and she started freaking out and said that she wanted to be hugged. She has some anxiety and PTSD related stuff, and that is her comfort person. Just as I got to the door to tell her to stop banging, Rob let her in, and I heard their conversation. Rob was saying that they had to get out of here because he can't eat that chili. My mom was kind of teasing him about, oh, you didn't like it, and telling him that she served it with rice and with raisins and sugar and a chocolate sauce. That's a lie. And he said it tasted like dog food with sugar and he was going to have nightmares. I saw red, and my mom was laughing. It just brought me back to how smug she used to be and how she looked down on us. When they came out, I told her to leave. My mom got really quiet again, said it was creepy that I was standing outside the bathroom door. She said she's been trying and she feels I'm looking for reasons to hate her. I told her to just go because I was too emotional to talk to her. She left willingly, but Rob told me I can't just nitpick and kick her out and then thinking that when she's putting work into the relationship. I mean, here's the deal. I'm not like chili expert. I feel like chili is along the lines of barbecue where like people feel strongly about their chili.
Yeah. I love chili.
I love chili, but I
know-
also can't differentiate.
I'm the same.
And that sounds
Wendy's chili is fine.
It sounds yes. I actually
I like
really like the Wendy's
I
chili.
like a good meat soup.
I really like their taco salad is just fucking yeah, I like that a lot. And I do know that sometimes people put cinnamon in it and shit, but this seems rather extreme that there's 4 different types of sugary sweetness in there. But here's the deal. Got to make better chili.
You think that's it?
Gotta make better chili.
I mean,
if you make chili that is so bad that there is an involuntary that's bad
If
chili.
you're like putting chocolate powder in your sugar,
Come on.
cocoa powder, putting fucking
And
maple syrup.
But even that, I could see like one of those things where it's like, what's the special ingredient? And Anthony Bourdain would be like, it's actually cocoa powder. But when you're doing all this shit, the fact that I mean,
that's like unless fucking Buddy the Elf is coming over for dinner, we don't need
we're
that
not putting
many sugars.
chocolate and maple and cinnamon and brown. I mean, that's the 4 sugars. Short of powdered sugar, that's all of them. But you know, like you said, it's meat soup. It's some beans. It's taco meat. It's sloppy Joe. It's all in the family, and it all kind of tastes in this range, you know, where you just go like, oh. But if it's you take a bite and you're like, that means you've done something drastically wrong. And I don't care about the PTSD. I don't care about the estrangement. I don't care about Rob. That's on bad chili cooker. Especially because if I go to your house and you're like, we're going to have some chili, I'm expecting edible chili. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you came over and, hey, I'm going to grill. I'm going to make some dogs and burgers. And I overcook the burgers, and the dogs are just the dogs. It's like, whatever. Kevin's not a great grill master, you know? But if I'm like, come on over, we're going to have some chili. Or like, come over and have some barbecue or something that's specific like that. I feel like that's a thing, and you're doing it because you're good at
clam bake.
Yeah. Unless I told you, like, yo, I'm trying to learn or something. Like, I had this new recipe. If you say a specific thing like that, it's a thing. I'm expecting it to be good. And when it's disgusting, and now I got to sit and eat a whole bowl of this?
But this
now
is
I got to
also-
slop up a whole fucking thing of a crock pot of it? Nope.
I mean, like you can just say no. Like, I'm not gonna.
I don't think you can because it's a whole chili thing. It's not like I could say you overcook the burgers. I'll just have a hot dog. It's a chili. It's a chili event.
It's all like this is just a situation where like
He said he's gonna have nightmares, John.
Everyone should acknowledge that, like, hey, you know what? This family was born accidentally.
Right.
Let's just all go our separate ways.
Doesn't that suck, bro?
We don't fucking
the amount of like the in-laws just suck. Like we've talked about it before. Like even if you don't like hate your in-law, you very rarely like love your in-laws. You know what I mean? Like where it just clicks, where it's just like you're as comfortable as you are
I think
around
that's
your real
even
family.
weirder than liking them.
Yeah, when you just yeah. I think there's a good healthy.
Now you're fucking like a family member.
Right. I
Just
think
like,
there should be a
we
good
get along
healthy
just
distance. If blood is thicker than water, so blood should be different than you know what I mean? Your blood relationships are always going to be different, and if they're not, that's weird. But also when it's like the extreme opposite, where it's just like, yeah, man, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're siblings, whatever. We are like on each other, like, you know, we love each other. We're like, you know, almost identical. And then like you just date and marry someone that nobody likes, or they don't get along, or they're totally different. It's just like, well, I don't know. This family's ruined now. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's going to be awkward for the rest of the time now because we don't get along. That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's why I still always believe separate holidays until like the last possible moment. That should be like standard canon in relationships until you have kids. Kids, you got to start to share and show and everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go to your separate corners.
Kevin's rules to relationship are always just don't be in a
relationship. No,
separate dinners, separate rooms, separate TVs, separate holidays.
The way to make a relationship work is to not jam the square peg in the round hole. Because certain things do fit, and the things that don't try to make them work. Because they're not gonna. Don't fucking cook the chili. Don't cook bad chili for people who don't like you.
And don't spy on your mom. Like if someone's going, I think that is something people do. Like people are that nosy, curious type thing. Like when someone wants to be alone, I just leave them alone. Right. Where it's like why putting your ear to the door? Like,
but that whole display banging on the door. I need a hug. You're my comfort person.
Everyone involves an asshole.
ETA. Everyone's the asshole. Get the fuck out. All right, voicemails, video voicemails today are brought to you by Sling. Make sure you hit the video voicemail line, a.k.a. film yourself, and send it to us. We have, if you go to the KFC Radio Twitter or Instagram, you can see the link to submit the videos. You can also just tweet at it or DM it to us. Submit your questions and your videos that way. But it's all brought to you by Sling. If you love watching live sports, but this actually, forget about it. I'm throwing the copy out the window because Sling is just a must-have. Cable, it's done. It's over. And I used to be like the main, I'm not cutting the cord. I haven't used cable in years now.
Yeah.
And I still just sit around paying for it like an idiot. And once sports became a thing, I was a staunch, you need sports and you need news. And the streaming packages just never had that. Now they do. And so there's just no fucking reason. Go a la carte with Sling. You can pick all the services you want. You can get the sports. You can get live action. And you don't have to pay $200 a month and have the boxes and the cords and the activation and the upcharges and all that shit. You can get all the movies you need. You can get all the sports you need. You can get all the entertainment you need on Sling. When it comes to sports, ESPN, FS1, TNT, all of that. You get everything there. You can watch college hoops, pro hoops, NBA playoffs, football, all of it. Formula One, because people fake liking that now. Every sport in the world you can get on Sling. Plus, there's a Barstool Sports channel. And that's the only streaming service right now where you get a 24/7 Barstool Sports channel that includes stool streams. It includes the Yak, all of the video podcasts, all of the video content we provide, all for free on the Barstool Sports channel that is exclusively only on Sling. So if you like your sports and you like all your entertainment and you're a Barstool fan, you go with Sling because that's the only way you can get all of it together. Sling.com/Barstool. Sign up now. Try it for free. First 3 days totally free, and then it's just $35 a month. No contracts, no long-term commitment. $35. My cable bill is like $210. It's crazy.
Really?
I don't know.
I have no idea what mine is either. It's probably very high.
Right. I mean,
I guess I spend
because you start to buy movies and shit. All of a sudden, it's like whoops.
100. If I want to watch something, I just buy it.
Right.
It's very easy.
How about Sling.com/Barstool to try for free. I'm gonna run on the presidential platform. We've talked about it before, but I just want to state it. I'm going to eradicate the do you want to watch your movie now? There is one scenario and one scenario only where when you click rent and then it says, are you sure you want to rent it? And then you click yes. And then it says, do you want to start it now? It's like you're going to click 4 more times to watch it. The only scenario I can see is if I am going out and I have a babysitter coming, and I buy the movie that I know my kids like, and then I can have it all teed up for the babysitter. That's the only thing I could even rack my brain.
Well, even the babysitter knows how to do it.
I agree. But I'm the only way I can consider it is if it's hey, listen, they love this movie. You don't have to find it. Because sometimes kids are put on the Johnny show, and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe. But other than that, there is no scenario where you rent a movie and not watch it right then and there. It's fucking insane.
It is. It's bonkers.
It's voicemails. Let's go.
What's up, KFC Radio team? So, I think a few episodes back, I think it was
Happy
John
Gilmore.
was talking
Happy
about
I love
with the Ari Garbage guys, how an adult with a cast is a really rough look. I forget exactly what the context of the conversation was. But so just turns out that I am a soon-to-be 30-year-old man that broke his wrist this weekend. Don't exactly want to get into how it happened because it's a little embarrassing. But I soon realized that me being a 30-year-old man walking around with a cast, people are going to ask what happened. So I have to come up with a story that makes me not seem like a complete piece of shit. I looked up the fractures that I have, and it said the most common occurrence is from falls. So I think I'm just going to be simple, easy. Fell off a bike.
No,
drinks
heavens to
involved,
Betsy,
not
I
being
fell off a bike?
Alcoholic piece of shit that I really am. But I think that's a believable, simple enough. No one's really going to question.
What are you talking about, bro? Do you not have a mirror? That's not believable at all.
If this guy told me,
it's not even his weight.
That was rude.
That was mean. It's not even his weight because there are plenty of people who are bigger who ride bikes. He just doesn't look like a bike guy.
But that also makes sense.
The mustache.
That makes sense that he would fall off the bike then.
No, because he knows how to ride a bike. He looks like a normal human, but he just doesn't. The guy looks like me. He doesn't look like a bike guy.
Yeah. You're certainly not like a cyclist. No one's gonna,
that was not a weight joke. He's not that big. He's a regular sized guy. He looks like me. He's fine. He's a proportionate individual.
He looks a lot like you.
Yeah.
The vital verse expands. Dude. I gotta know how he broke his. I mean, how can you break your wrist?
Yeah,
it's probably just like a drunk like.
I believe it was Mark Twain. If a story's embarrassing, it's a story worth telling. Or maybe it's if a story isn't embarrassing, it's not a story worth telling.
But you can't.
So fucking tell me the goddamn story.
And you can't be like, I'm not gonna tell you. It's like fucking where. If you're not gonna tell the story on KFC radio, and then where else you're calling in this stupid show to begin with. Just tell us how you did it. What is a good reason to have a cast?
Winter you can get around.
Yep, winter slipped on ice.
Slipped on ice is about.
But it is like I don't. That's. When I fell down the stairs like a month ago and I was like, and I took the fall and I was happy about it. Like the day that you're just like, I fell on the ground and my body's broken is a sad day. That's some old people shit where it's like, oh boy, I'm done.
I wouldn't shake a stick at ice because I know it can happen to anybody.
You think you're tougher than the ice?
I know it can happen to anybody.
Nobody's tougher than ice.
One day the ground can just reach up and
gotcha. Sniper get you. So ice is a decent one. Breaking a wrist. I mean, I have kids. I feel like there's been a couple times where I've almost broken bones, like fucking around with my kids. Today I was watching them. They're home from school, and I'm at their mom's house, and she's watching me, and she's like, "Jesus Christ, when you're with these kids, it's like a athletic thing for you, huh?" I'm like, yeah. She's like, I don't do any of this stuff. I was like, fuck, this is bullshit. I'm going down into the basement that's fucking freezing with them, and I'm playing double piggyback rides and doing wheelbarrow races and shit. I'm like, what are you doing with them? This is bullshit, man. That's how I'm gonna break my wrist.
You can go like the winter. You can have skiing. Skiing's a fine
good
one.
And a wrist is like I got a hairline fracture because I fell snowboarding. Done.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if if you're not a biking guy, I don't know if you're gonna get away with the skiing thing.
No, you can get away with skiing. This guy though, like if it's the toss up between fucking biking and bar fight, go bar fight. That's a bar fight face. That's a bar fight.
The only thing I was thinking when he's like, when you're an adult male and he's embarrassed about it, is I think violence. I think he got in a fight.
I think
he got in a bar scrap and didn't want to say that he's like fighting as a grown man.
I think he punched a wall.
Punched a wall.
He
said like wrist.
I'm a big wall puncher. I think
you're
a wall.
A freak. You're a freak.
Punching a wall is fucking.
You're a violent madman.
I know.
That's crazy. that is crazy behavior.
It is.
Smashing bottles, punching walls. You're an animal. You're an absolute animal.
I like being violent. Being violent is fun.
That was so. I was just gonna say that was so genuine.
It
Slap
is.
it on the shirt. I like being violent. Being violent's fun.
I got to be violent a little bit this weekend, where you get to like, because it is. There is that little bit like it's like I don't care. And I get out there and someone slashes me, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking furious right now. And I get in the corner, I'll fucking hit him in the head a few times. It's fun.
You get a little Marchand on there.
Yeah,
he's crazy, man. Just hitting him, fucking punching that goalie in the face, and then hitting him with his stick.
That was wild.
A maniac, that guy. Next up.
What's up, KFC fam? First time in a while. Troy here from up in Saskatoon.
We get
so on Monday night, I smoked a joint and was watching the highlights of the Bills-Chiefs game. And I guess that's my first question is, up in Canada with legalized marijuana, all we got is like these pre-rolls you can buy. Do you know if 3 Cheese is going to make it up here anytime soon? Because you guys make it sound like it's something of a gift of God. That's not my real question. I was having a high thought, more of like a Jackie jacked up thought. I want to get your opinion on this, Jackie. Why don't the running backs or the receivers, every time they get the ball, just put the ball inside their jersey, tuck it into their jersey, and run with it like that? You don't have to worry about fumbling it. I know it's a high thought, but I don't want to get Jackie's opinion on that. Hope you guys have a good day. Viva.
I've thought about that every single time.
Yeah.
But I just figured like they have to have come up with something against that.
Is like better than a shirt holding a ball is a super strong professional athlete holding it with his muscles.
I couldn't believe. I thought I misheard it. He thinks hide the ball in his shirt.
Just like put it underneath the shirt.
That's so
yeah,
much,
but they
much
don't
worse.
like they don't even. Yeah, they have the super strong quarterbacks, but then they fumble.
Quarterbacks are the weakest.
Whatever, running backs, it doesn't
Just
matter.
like they have really, really strong arms that hold the ball rather than just a
No, but
shirt.
sometimes it doesn't work.
Right, but it
more
works way
Shirt
more.
is a foolproof plan.
No,
No, it is.
No.
Oh,
Oh, well,
Just
she has spoken.
trust me.
Jackie has spoken.
where's the ball?
I don't think we have. Oh, here. Pop it in there. Pop it in your shirt. Jackie, come over here. Make Feidelberg fumble. So Feidelberg has the ball inside his Tigger and Eeyore shirt.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Okay, now whack it out. No, just whack it out of his. Just fucking whack it out of his shirt. Whack it out. Get it.
No, I can't do it. I can't
Try. See, look how it's
you're
really
still
close.
holding him, but you're still.
Okay, but
you're still
one
holding
more whack and you're getting it.
I
out,
know,
right?
but
now
that's the thing.
try to do.
You're
Now,
you're not running around like
But
this,
I can't.
like hands
But
up
I can't
willy-nilly.
run fast like this.
Why? That's how you do it normally.
No, you don't. You have it in one hand normally.
Why do you look so awkward when you do that?
Because that's awkward. Because there's a
Okay,
goddamn
but now,
ball in my
try that.
shirt.
Now try that. Now we're trying that.
Yeah, now try. Now hold it and try to whack it out.
Now hold it.
Yeah.
First of all, take
Touche! The jacked up throwback. First one,
yeah, this.
This one I don't have to hide.
Yeah, like that. Like that. You just grab that.
Just
You
whack
can't
it.
just grab that. You just try to grab that.
Don't move it. Try to whack it as hard as you can. He's not gonna move it.
Oh my god!
break your
That's hard. That's. You know what?
Hands are better. Yeah.
Hands are better.
First of all, tickle.
Sneak attack tickle was
Would work. It would work.
I was not expecting this. Sneak attack.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
We have one more. One more voicemail. We'll get into our interviews.
What's going on, guys? I just wanted to run something by you about the idea of quitting sports fandom. So just a little context. I'm Canadian, and I'm a fan of the Toronto Raptors. And every time I go on Twitter, the Raptors fandom on Twitter is just the worst, man. They're just so obsessed with the team to the point where, for me, it's just getting annoying, and it kind of weirds me out. And where I'm stuck is I'm 19, so I have a long way to go with watching sports, but they won in 2019, so I've already gotten my championship. And I'm a fan of the Bills, so I'm never getting rid of them. So my idea is, do I just jump ship now? And because I've already gotten my championship and these fans no longer have to live in my head rent free? Or do I keep going for a bit, and if it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, I leave? Let me know. Thanks.
You know, man.
I think this is one of my favorite voicemails of all time.
Why? What are you gonna say?
Because I just know exactly what he's talking about. Like I relate to him very heavily.
Yeah.
Because it is the like.
I mean, I do as well, but I don't have the chip like in my back pocket. Like I hate the majority of Mets fans now, and it drives me nuts. But I don't have that championship.
Yeah. But championship aside, I think you can't. You can jump ship if you want, but you'll never replicate your hometown team.
So that's my thing. Is like on the one hand, I want to tell you, do whatever you want because who fucking cares anymore? Just root for whatever team you want. But also, you know what is so much easier than that? you just root for the team in the city you live in.
Yeah,
You're from Toronto. You just root for the Raptors.
You'll never get a second love like that,
right? Because it's natural and
your
it makes
first
sense.
love is bullshit in fucking sex. Your fucking first love in sports that's 100% real. You'll never love the team.
It's where you're from or where your family and your dad and your mom like make you root for whatever. That is as pure. It's almost like in-laws and blood family. Like, you know what I mean? Like your first team is like your sibling. Like you're born into it. And if you pick another team, it's like having an in-law where it's like, yeah, we get along, but it's not really natural. But I also he hates. I would never have imagined that like the Raptors fan base is one that you hate.
Well, that's the thing.
You
it's
hate
every fan base.
If you get on, if you're on the internet and you're on Twitter and you're a fan and you follow the guys who are diehard dick riders who the team is never wrong. You follow the Frank the Tanks who the team's never right. Every fan base has irrational assholes that are going to make you hate the other fans of the team. So why jump ship?
We talk to too many people now.
Yeah.
We
There's
hear
too much
the opinions of too many people, and it ruins things. It's not even just anything.
What Brian Suave was talking about is everything. There's an avalanche of sex. There's an avalanche of fandom. There's a tsunami of politics. There's an overwhelming tidal wave of sociology. Like everything you like and enjoy, comic books and movies and television and all that shit. It's like, it used to be like, I found like the Reddit page of the show, and I can dive in deeper and I like it. Or I find this community where we all share it and it enhances everything. And now it's gone too far, where you find these things and it becomes too much and it ruins the thing that you love.
Well, because what happens is you associate them with it, and you're like, well, I don't want to be like, I don't want people to think I'm like them.
Yes.
I don't think I'm a fucking psychopath.
Right. But there was probably a sweet spot where I remember, Lost was probably like the tipping point. Like the beginning of Lost, I remember was the first time I found it was probably like message boards and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was like, oh, that guy's got a really good theory, and I never thought of that. And it was like this second screen type of thing that made it better until it went too far and all the theories and everything fucked it up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with True Detective when we did it with that, and it's the same thing with Marvel Comics and Game of Thrones and all the entertainment, and then they do it with sports, and you do it with politics, and you do it with everything, where it's like, well, if you take this fun hobby or this little thing of enjoyment and you follow the obsession side of it,
it's a turnoff.
Whether it's this side or that side, the obsession side sucks.
Yeah, it's an absolute
anything.
turnoff.
It's all like everything in moderation, you know. Everything else it sucks.
It's like I think I talked about it. The Reddit thread I read once recently. It was I think his name by the asshole or whatever it was, but it was the girl who's born into like a Harry Potter family, and she's like her parents got mad at her because she's hanging out with people on like a Harry Potter day. And she's like, I just want normal friends
amount,
who like things a normal amount.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
like every fan is short for fanatic, which implies insanity. So it all is fucking nuts. And it sucks. Because then when you're like, I don't like this because you like it too much and it's fucking weird. It's like, oh, you're a contrarian. Like, no, I'm just fucking being like it's just I still enjoy it.
Right.
I just don't want to be associated with your enjoyment.
I don't want anybody to look at me and think that I'm like you.
Yeah, because we're different.
Yeah.
We're not the fucking same.
Well, you and I are not the same, man. By the way, we talked about signs with Josh Potter the other day, and we got a couple comments on the YouTube video about signs. People were very passionate about it, and one guy was so defiantly fucking stupid on the internet, I couldn't believe it. He tried to correct us. He was like, at 1527 mark. He goes,
just random to guess.
He goes, it wasn't that water killed the aliens. It was the specific water from that town. Like, no, it fucking wasn't.
I was gonna say I didn't know that. Nick I think read me that comment the other day, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I just took it. He said something confident enough. I said, I was like, all right, he's right.
How would they stop the worldwide invasion with water from one town?
I don't remember the movie well enough. I don't know if it was like one ship.
It amazes me that people get this wrong about signs. The aliens weren't allergic to all water. It was the water specifically from that town where they lived. Like, absolutely no, it's fucking not. And actually, in the movie, they say that they figured it out in the Middle East. You dumb fucking asshole.
I'm concerned that it was 1527.
27. Yeah. Nailed it.
You had that
fucking
one.
Nailed it. I hate this guy. I just can't believe when people are so defiantly wrong. Like,
yeah.
You know, I'm like, no, you are so fucking stupid here. But then you see the thing I tweeted where they said it's not aliens at all? This is a 10-year-old theory that I'm coming around on for the first time. So if you've heard it,
Science is 10 years old?
I'm a decade late, at least, yeah.
I would've thought more.
The theory that I read was like a 2012 blog post.
Okay.
And that they're not aliens at all. They're just like demons. And then it's all religious. That's why Mel Gibson's a pastor, and it's all about faith, and that the water is holy water, because you never see a alien, you never see a ship, you never see anything that's actually like extraterrestrial, and that it's just like demons from Earth or whatever. And I'm like,
that's one of those things though where it's like, sure, I guess.
it's just it's a sideways move. It's just like, okay, I don't
yeah.
know. You know? They were like, they said that's
but it's like when like J.K. Rowling was like, this character's gay. It's like, well, okay, but you gave me nothing to believe that.
Right.
Like you didn't tell me that in the story.
I guess the thought was, people always say about signs, why would aliens who are perceived to be smart traveling to another planet go somewhere where 70% of the planet can kill you? You know?
But they probably didn't know that.
Well, that's what my thing was.
Right?
But then people were saying, if you think of it as demons and holy water, it makes more sense.
But then,
the aliens,
water was blessed.
So that's why I was saying in the movie they talk about how they figured, like in the Middle East is where they figured it out, where the water might be blessed, and they believe that the water in the movie that we see is from the girl, and they think that the girl is some sort of like angel. This is a whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know.
It's just
I'm
like,
going aliens.
Yeah, it's fucking 10-year-old movie breakdown here on KFC Radio. All right, get into our interviews. We'll start off with Kelly Stafford, who is just one of the most ride or die chicks ever. We found out that she was doing Good Morning America, Ryan Seacrest, and Us. That's the only press she's doing. Super Bowl quarterback wife. And she was like, I'm only talking to these guys from KFC Radio. So, and we got to know her.
She did say they listen to us in bed, which is...
I know. She said they put the kids to bed and they listen to us, which is like, I was kind of like, you guys ever fucked? Well, our voices have definitely been playing while they've been fucking. And that's actually, so I was going to say, we talked to her, we learned about her and her relationship with Matthew Stafford and the Lions and now the Rams and her famous neighbors and the Kardashians and all this shit, and it's cool.
95-year-old Ron.
95-year-old Ron, who used to be their neighbor in Detroit. Love it. But now I want to have her back on and ask her things like, so are our voices on when you guys are fucking?
Yeah.
Because if you're down with KC Radio, you know, you can really get down at the interview. So give it a listen. And I, as a like card-carrying member of the like Joe Burrow dick-riding, fanatics club, I have been swayed. I want the Rams to win. I want Matthew Stafford to get his chip.
Rams fan.
Rams fan for life. So if I can be swayed by this.
Fam.
What?
Fam.
Ram fam.
We're
Ram fam.
Yeah.
Hashtag Ram fam over here. And because Joey Burrow is going to get his time. He's got to pay his dues. He will get his championship. This one's for Matthew Stafford and Kelly. So give it a listen. Kelly Stafford here on KFC Radio.
And our neighbor in Michigan was a 95-year-old guy named Ron. Love him to death. He would always get our mail during the off season. Like, he's a sweetheart. But the change of pace that we had moving from Detroit to LA was pretty good.
Who's the neighbor now? Who to go? Ron to who?
Kylie Jenner. Across the street.
That's amazing. You guys got to get everybody together. Ron, Kylie. Oh,
I mean, our friends, we all laugh our asses off. Like, we're like, you went from Ron to Kylie, and I'm like, I know. And
how is Kylie the neighbor? Have you had any interactions with her?
Yeah, she's super kind. She's obviously very mature for her age. I forget how young she is.
Yeah.
She just had her second baby.
Yeah.
Angel.
A few days ago or whatever. Yeah. Is that his name?
That's what the internet sleuths have detected. Yes, I don't know if that's true, but
wait, what's the name?
His name is Angel.
Angel, I believe. It's all of their friends are commenting on the post. Can't wait to meet my little angel, and I think people decipher that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to ask her, but I guess you just broke the news for me. No, she's really kind. She had us over for Stormy's birthday, which I thought was very nice. We were, that was a little stressful because I was like, please don't just fuck anything up. I just can't have that on my plate right now.
He winning like X Games at 17.
I think he was younger than that. I think he was like 14 when he
That's what
started
I'm saying.
winning X
That boy,
Games.
man, listen, man. Oh, God.
I love that you were just going to try to lie about the Olympics like that, dude.
We're at 94,000 subscribers on KFC Radio, the YouTube channel. I need to have it hit 6 figures. I need 100,000 for 2022. Let's make it happen. When we hit 100K, we'll give you all sorts of content. We're going to deliver on everything we've been promising. So please just subscribe. All you got to do is log in with your Gmail, click subscribe. Whether or not you actually even use YouTube doesn't fucking matter. All it does is help us. So take your Gmail, log in, click subscribe, and help us out.